Did you know that effective roadmaps can help our organization make deliberate choices about the product's development? But either you're writing or reading a roadmap, you will still have to make sure that it answers the questions on which you need stakeholders to provide consensus with. And now, about this. We all know that outcomes are more important than outputs, especially when you're building a product roadmap, as it helps to be explicit about the types of behavior that you intend to encourage. In Agile development, this intent is called in user stories with the "as a type of user, I want to do some activity." But other development methodologies, some use cases perform some similar functions. And regardless of how it works in your company or product development team, the goal is always the same. Put the user first and speak to the behavioral impact that you want to create with the product, not just the outputs that you need to build and put forward. Also, understanding the strategic objectives that underlie a series of releases will help you guide your team on the abstractions that will be long-lasting, the expectations the business hold on scale requirements, and whether the new interfaces will need to exist between teams and services. Here is where objectives and key results, OKRs, come in place, to make sure your plans are consistent with your goals. So the roadmaps are intended to capture those things that you will build. Out of the product opportunity sphere, roadmaps articulate the specific choices that have been made, even sometimes work as reflections of what you're willing to give up. You also need to consider the opportunity costs, as in the features you're not pursuing or building, as a way to make explicit the product values you're expressing by highlighting the trade-offs. You can always expose the strategy underneath them. Also, by covering the plan for releasing features in the roadmap, it will help build alignment and de-risk a release. So, bottom line, effective roadmaps help coordinate your product releases by understanding how features will be introduced to users. This means that any marketing team will definitely appreciate having visibility into the work for which they will need capacity. But also assume the same is true for other teams you work with, especially to identify dependencies upfront whilst you're pursuing the roadmap and its strategy. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. See you on the next episode.